Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Clan Wars 7 from this historic Ulster Hall here in Belfast, only on Setanta. From the historic Ulster Hall here in Belfast, we welcome you to Clan Wars 7 here on Setanta. I'm Ray Flores, joining you before a sold-out crowd. Alongside is my colleague and my partner for the evening, Mark Leonard. Mark, what a fantastic night of action that we have in store in our main event of the evening. A welterweight showdown between Chris McDonald and Merv Madman Mulholland. This one has all the makings of being a Fight of the Year candidate.
Absolutely. Merv Mulholland doesn't know how to have a boring match. And the last couple of times we've seen here at Clan Wars, he's come out aggressive, he's come out fast. Somewhat of an unknown quantity for Merv and his opponent tonight. We haven't seen him on these shores before, but it's going to be a tremendous, barn-burning match.
Chris McDonald is 33 years of age, has a record of 8-1. Taking on Merv Madman Mulholland, who's 20 years of age with a record of 7-4. Now, McDonald knows that with a couple more wins, he can get to that next level, either the UFC, Strikeforce, even Bellator. Everyone, though, is talking about Merv Madman Mulholland. He's known as the up-and-coming next face of Irish MMA. McDonald really doesn't take too kindly to that.
Well, he may have to. When Mervyn burst onto the scene a couple of years ago, he seemed to come from nowhere, and all of a sudden there was this guy at welterweight beating some of the top names that have been around for years. So Mervyn, at only 20, has beaten some of the top names in this division.
Well, a win here for Merv Mulholland certainly propels him to continuing to show everyone that the future is bright and that all the hype is certainly warranted. Also tonight, we have Duane Hines, who takes on Henry Fadipe. You know all about Henry Fadipe. Win or lose, Fadipe always puts on a show. Duane Hines comes in with an undefeated record of 4-0 from Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Yeah. Well, stylistically, this fight is very, very interesting. Henry Fadipe has shown that he's got tremendous power, knockout with either hand, and he really likes to throw them. He holds nothing back when he's in the cage. And his opponent tonight is bringing stellar Greco-Roman credentials. It's going to be really interesting to see if Fadipe can keep it on the feet where he wants the match, or is this going to turn into a wrestling match.
And one thing about it is that a fight in mixed martial arts can end in any given one moment. Duane Hines, it appears on the surface that he wants to go ahead and grind it out, but he did tell me earlier in the day, Mark, that he wants to stand and bang. That may be a bad thing because, as we know, Henry Fadipe has dynamite in both hands.
If he gets those hands on him, he's going to hurt him. I think that might have been some pre-bluster for the match. I think we're going to see more of his Greco tonight than we are his striking. But anything can happen, like you say.
Speaking of heavy hands, Decky Dalton takes on Andy Taz Young. This is the fight that's been talked about here in Ireland for a long time. Finally, it comes to fruition here at Clan Wars 7. Decky Dalton, undefeated record of 2-0. Everyone is talking about him as being another up-and-coming sensation. Is the hype real? I guess Andy Young's going to put that to the test tonight.
Well, absolutely. No, I'm a major fan of both of these guys. Decky Dalton is just so dangerous on his feet. Elbows, punches, kicks, knees. He's got knockout power with all of his strikes. And then you've got Andy Young, who's probably got one of the hardest heads in Irish MMA. You put these guys together, there's no way it can be a bad fight.
One thing that Andy Young told me is that he knows that there's a lot of hype and he is the underdog taking on Decky Dalton, but he knows how much it means for him to fight inside this building. He takes it with great honor, great pride, and he's taken this fight more seriously than any other fight in his career.
A tremendously respectful fighter, Andy. And I think we saw in a couple of his last outings his versatility. He's a striker by trade, so is Decky Dalton. These two guys, they're going to stand and bang. It's going to be brilliant.
They are on the same track. Something has to give Decky Dalton and Andy Young. Mark, I can't wait. What an amazing card we get going in only moments.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Mark Leonard and Ray Flores, we will be doing the play-by-play commentary and the analysis. Clan Wars 7 from the historic Ulster Hall is coming your way from Belfast only on Setanta.